opportunity at this engineering firm. You know, I'm going to go technical, correct? Hey, Brian, we have this wonderful opportunity for you to be the communications teacher, you know, dean of communications at the School of Life. That's a different type of resume, right? I'm going to talk a little bit more about my public speaking abilities. I'm going to go more with KIPNspire. But if I talked about an engineering job, I'm going to talk about my time in corporate America a little bit more. So be very specific to what you're attacking. Do you impress yourself? Who reads their resume and says, that's pretty good? I've had that. I had those moments. I've had those moments when you get that right word, you write it and you're like, oh, that's kind of, you smile because you're impressed with yourself. Raise your hand if you said you did that before. It feels good, doesn't it? That good feeling is the feeling that you want someone else to feel as well. It's not an arrogant thing. It's actually confidence because someone else is going to read it. And guess what? As a person who's read resumes a lot, guess what I do? I smile and say, that's impressive. Now, you want to meet the person, you get to know them and all that before you make them a job offer. But that is very important. The last one says simplicity wins. Who has an overly complicated resume right now? It's just real busy and it needs some work. I once had that. I once also had one that was so simple that I could never get a job because there was nothing on it. So simplicity means take all the brilliance that you had, all the experience, and try to be very succinct. You want to make it less complicated as possible. All right, so do we feel good about our resume right now? We feel good to understand the framework of this thing. I'm not here to tell you the structure of your resume. You can go to Google and get that. This is about what is a resume for. The bottom says tell your story. If I give you my resume and you read it, guess what you're doing right now? You're reading my story, right? But you have the ability to interpret it in any way that you choose. So if I don't tell my story appropriately on my resume, because many times when you look for jobs and opportunities, all you get is the resume. You don't even get a chance to talk to people as the initial contact. It's a resume. So make sure when you submit a resume to anyone from this point on in your life, that you feel very confident that your story is being told appropriately. Because other people will tell your story for you. All right? So now, the E, experience. Who knows that experience matters? Now, those in the room who are rather young, you're going to get mad at me. Because I was once the young person that wanted to be the CEO of the world. I was going to climb the corporate ladder, right? Very ambitious. If you're young in college right now, experience matters. I want you to know that. You are not going to graduate next year and be the Dean of Engineering, the Dean of the School of Arts and Sciences. You do not get a PhD next year. I heard the speaker last night that said it took her 7 years. Some it may be shorter, but slow down just a little bit. Put together a plan as you try to achieve greatness and know that it's small steps. So experience, we put the power of words. Why do I put that up there? Let's tie that to our resume. Now we started with the resume. Now we're going to talk about experience. Inside of a resume, you have an experience section, right? What have you done? Look at these action verbs. Who has those action verbs on their resume? Who has an experience section without action verbs? I once did. It's okay, raise your hand. Nobody embarrassed here. If you do not have action verbs starting every sentence of your experience section, every sentence of your experience section, then you're already starting off behind.